Joining me right now is, of course, Louie T right here. This guy needs no introduction. Of course, if you're a Washington football team fan, you probably already know who this guy is. I consider him pretty much at the top of, the great content creators of the Washington football team out there. He also talks about a lot of different NFL topics. He'll cover, Aaron Rodgers, Justin Herbert, all the other topics in the NFL pretty much. This guy, he knows his stuff. He has over 18,000 subscribers. And, if you're not subscribed to Louie T already, you should subscribe to him because he does a lot of live streams, instant reactions on his Patreon. He does film breakdowns. It's raw and uncut, filtered stuff. He's very unbiased. He gives it to you like it is, very high quality content. I like to welcome Louie T, host of the Louie T Network podcast as well. Be sure to subscribe to that podcast wherever you get your podcast if you're interested. Louie T, thank you so much for joining me. It's been quite a while to get this going, but we're finally here, so I'm happy that you can join me today, man.
Hey, no problem, man. Thank you for having me, and I really appreciate the introduction, man. Thank you so much for having me on the program and allowing me to bless the Juice Alert.
No doubt, no doubt. So before we kind of get into the whole, football side of things with Washington, we'll probably cover a couple of, general NFL topics and whatnot too. But, what made you become a fan, I should say, of the Washington football team? A lot of people may not know how you became a fan. So talk about how you became a fan of the Washington football team, aka the Redskins of the past. And why did you start a YouTube channel and a podcast network,
So becoming a fan was pretty easy. I live in Virginia, grew up in Virginia, and they were the local team. So when I would watch television, they would be all that I would see. So obviously, it being a young kid and impressionable, you latch on to what you see the most. I saw the Washington football team the most, so I became a Redskin fan. Then Washington football team now. So that was pretty easy. And it's crazy because everyone freaks out when they hear that my, family, my sister, my mom, my dad, they're all Cowboys fans. But, I wasn't exposed to that. I was exposed to Washington as a kid, and that's how I became a Washington fan. So as far as the channel and the brand is concerned, really, I watched my mom work a job that she didn't really particularly care for 26 years. But, she did what she had to do. And I said, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be working a job that I really get up and dread doing every single day. And essentially, that's what I was doing. I got a degree that I haven't really used to this point. And it's helped me, but I'm not using it. I'm not in that field. And I said, what am I doing right now? What am I passionate about? And that's why I always try to stress that to people, coming up. Whatever it is you're passionate about, find that now. Find it while you're in high school. Figure it out, because you don't want to waste time. It's a non-renewable resource. It's something you can't get back. I wasted a lot of time trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And at the end of the day, I just realized that I was passionate about nothing more so than football. That was the one thing that got me excited each and every single day. It was something that I felt like I could do every day and not get tired of doing it. It wouldn't become monotonous, or I wouldn't become jaded by doing it. And I had all these ideas in my head, but I didn't act on them. They just were sitting around. And then finally, I went to a conference at Hampton University. It was a HBCU conference that ESPN was doing. And they were sending a lot of their anchors around and people that work for ESPN to kind of get people started in the business and kind of give them the tricks of the trade, things of that nature. What do you need to do to get started? And they were telling their stories. Jay Harris, who's one of the anchors at ESPN, was there, and Sage Steele was there as well, and a couple of other people. And after I left that, I said, what am I doing? What am I waiting on? I just need to start it. So I had a camera. It wasn't the best. I had a microphone. It wasn't the best. But I said, I can't wait until I get all these things, at high quality to start, or I'll never start. So I just started the camera up, started the microphone up, and I've been going ever since.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Who's your favorite football player of all time?
Barry Sanders.
Why Barry Sanders? He's a Lion.
He was the player that made me fall in love with the game the way that I did. And every Thanksgiving, I'd be in front of my television watching the NFL, and Barry Sanders was just a polarizing figure. I could never take my eyes off him, whether it was an 8-yard loss or an 82-yard touchdown scamper. it was always exciting with Barry Sanders, and he was the guy that made me actually fall in love with the sport the way that I did ultimately.
Got it, got it. I'm a Packers fan, but one of my actual favorite all-time players is Calvin Johnson. Unfortunately, it seems like there's a trend with the Lions where they get these all-time great players, but they end up retiring early, you know. But we'll see if they can turn the organization around. I have two other questions to ask you. They're just kind of fun questions, a little off-topic. Then we'll get into some football things, you know. Okay, so if you were told, and by God's grace, hopefully this doesn't happen, but if you were told that you were maybe dying soon and you could have one final meal to eat, you get 5 things and a dessert. What's in your meal and what's your dessert?
So I want to go to Italy. I want to eat authentic Italian food. I love Italian food. So it'd probably be some kind of pasta, probably some kind of white sauce pasta. So, you know, some Alfredo pasta probably. Dessert, I would want a thick, rich, creamy strawberry cheesecake.
Got it, got it. Sounds good to me. And last question, are you an old school or a new school music guy, you know?
Oh, definitely old school. I can't. I mean, I listen to the stuff now because I want to stay current and relevant. But give me the old stuff all day long. I'm an R&B guy through and through, so give me the old stuff all day long.
Gotcha, gotcha. Well, that's some fun facts about Louie T right here. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juice Alert Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juice Alert Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.